Welcome back, Bears.
I'm Addison.
And I'm Elle.
Today we look at prom trends, Everbowl, the 2025 Golden Apple Teacher Award winners, and UAHS teacher who's passionate about journalism.
Two teachers from UAHS won the UACA Golden Apple Award. Alicia McGinty is the district Golden Apple recipient, and Sean Martin is the recipient for UAHS. The Upper Arlington High School class of 2025 graduates on Sunday, May 25th at the Jerome Schottenstein Center. All Upper Arlington students finish the school year the last week of May.
With end-of-year exams approaching, it's easy to feel overwhelmed. The Pause Room opened earlier this semester, offering students a calm space to relax and reset when things feel too stressful. According to the National Institute of Mental Health, 31.9% of teens have anxiety.
At Upper Arlington High School, above the main office and right next to the College Center, there lies a room called the Bear Pause Room.
The Bear Pause Room is kind of a space just to take time for yourself. So whether it's you're stressed out, having a bad day, have anxiety, it's just time to take about 10 minutes and kind of self-regulate. There's a variety of different things that you can do, from coloring a picture to just chilling on a variety of comfortable seating, to doing Legos, there's a whole bunch of different things you can do in there. And then hopefully kind of getting back into the mind space that then you can get back to class. So it just opened like the second week of this second semester. The Bear Pause Room is at least a place where you can go and take 10 minutes and you just check in. There's a really simple check-in form, like how are you feeling today? And then after, you can flip a timer a couple times. And then when you feel like you can get back to class, then you're rating your feelings again. How am I feeling? And hopefully there's improvement from when you enter the room to when you leave the room.
This has been Alex Greil reporting for the WARL.
It's essential to normalize talking and taking care of our mental health, just as we do our physical health.
Now let's kick it to sports.
What's up, Bears?
Welcome to sports.
Boys lacrosse hosted the Shamrocks from Louisville for a non-conference game on Saturday, April 26, winning with a score of 13-11 at halftime. They celebrated boys hockey, who captured Arlington's first ever state championship this year.
The Bears will be back at home again for a conference game on Tuesday the 29th at 7 p.m. against Dublin Kaufman.
Girls lacrosse was on the road to meet Kentucky Country Day in Cincinnati on the 25th, winning with a final score of 16-4. The Lady Bears senior night will take place at the Marv on May 6th, playing Hilliard-Davidson. The
boys and girls varsity crew went to Michigan for the Kensington Regatta on April 25th and 26th. The Navies girls 8 and 4 took gold. The varsity boys 4 earned silver and bronze.
For track, the Fulton Relays took place on April 25th at Lancaster High School. Congrats to Morgan Hamilton, Elizabeth Bowling, Clara Christ, and Josie Cox on setting a new school record for the distance medley relay. The new record time is 12 minutes, 45.45 seconds. Let's head to Emerson about track nationals.
Last year, some of our UAHS track and field athletes went to Nike Nationals in Oregon and ran multiple open races and relays in both men's and women's events. I interviewed varsity sprints coach Phil Wright on his takeaways and how he trained his athletes for nationals and how he's planning on going back with even faster times this year.
I feel good about the trip. I didn't get all of the results that I wanted to, but it was a good experience for us to be out there, and we had some positive results. I was happy with how the trip went. So I increased our training volume earlier in the season. Last year, I waited to increase volume, but we're at 2,000 meters at our maximum volume right now, and we're just going to work down from that. I also introduced more speed endurance. So we started early with some short speed endurance this year, and that's going to gradually increase until we get up to about 150 meters and do some lactic acid speed endurance. Hopefully we get all of the relays, 4x8, 4x1, 4x2, 4x4, sprint medley, distance medley. That's the plan every year, and sometimes we're able to do that because we can composite times together to create some of those relays. There are a couple of other options, like the 1,000 meter sprint medley, which is 200, 200, 400, 800, and we can use composites to make those teams. So like ideally we could qualify 8 teams. We probably won't take that many unless we can run multiple people in multiple races. Like where each athlete would go and run 3 events, we might be able to get all of those events in. But we can't take 20 kids to try to get in 8 relays, if that makes sense.
In another interview with sophomore sprinter Reese Kidwell, an athlete that went to nationals with the team last year, answered questions about what event she ran at nationals, how her experience was, and also what she's looking to improve on for next year's trip.
I ran the 100 and the 4x1. It was really cool. All the facilities were so nice. It was so pretty there out in Oregon. But yeah, it was great. This year, I really just want to focus more on my start and getting that better, and obviously running faster. Maybe going like 12.2 because that's a school record. Going to try to do that, and then improve my 200 and qualify for nationals again. But yeah.
This has been Emerson Hemmelgarn reporting for the WARL.
That's it, man! Come on, Daggy! Come on, Daggy! Come on, man! That's it, yeah!
Boys volleyball has had a stellar season so far with a 14-3 record and being first and undefeated in their conference. The week of April 20th, the boys competed in 3 games against Olentangy Orange, Dublin Kaufman, and Hilliard Darby, defeating each team.
Marv Moorhead Stadium is home to 9 varsity sports at Upper Arlington High School. The stadium is named after a legendary and influential coach.
James reports on Marv Moorhead's legacy and impact.
Marv came in here in 61, I believe. My 8th grade year, we were undefeated. 9th grade year, we were undefeated. 10th grade, undefeated. 11th grade, undefeated. And 12th grade, we were undefeated going into the last game. And we were number 1 and they were number 5. The team we played, Watterson, and they beat us. So that was the only game we lost. Then the next 3 years that Marv coached, they were undefeated and state champs. So my mom died when I was in 9th grade. And my dad was spinning in circles because he loved her deeply. And so I was blessed to have Marv Moorhead and the other coaches take me under their wings, so to speak. And it was just really important because I had an additional family of my teammates to go into battle with.
To remember all Coach Moorhead's quotes, Morgan keeps them on his desk to remind himself every day.
Intensity magnifies size. The more enthusiastic you are, the bigger you play, the bigger impact you can have. Enthusiasm escalates ability. Alibis destroy character. You learn that if you made excuses, you never got anywhere in life. One of the huge motivational things that Coach Moorhead instilled in us is, as a player, of course, you don't want to let yourself down. But you really didn't want to let Coach Moorhead down because he believed in you so much. And that lesson I've taken with me throughout life.
From 1955 to 1969, Marv Moorhead led Upper Arlington High School to an incredible 115 wins, just 23 losses and 3 ties, with 3 state championships, 8 league titles, and 6 undefeated seasons to his name.
According to the Upper Arlington Historical Society, he became known simply as Marvelous Marv.
Marv Moorhead was inducted into the Upper Arlington High School Athletic Hall of Fame in 2004.
Now it is time for community news.
Welcome to Community Bears. The grand opening of Upper Arlington's new $85 million Bob Crane Community Center was held on Sunday, April 7th.
The center has 5 floors plus a mezzanine.
Riley reports on the opening.
Located on 3200 Tremont Road, the Bob Crane Community Center is in its final steps of operation, with its grand opening on April 6th of 2025. In 2018, the Parks and Recreation Department finalized a comprehensive plan for the community center. Building began in fall of 2022, and in January of 2025, they started hiring its full and part-time staff.
The entire process for designing and building the Bob Crane Community Center was very much community involved. So we had opportunities for our community to let us know what they would like to have in the facility and how they plan to utilize the facility so we could plan our services with that.
All levels of the center are accessible through 2 sets of elevators as well as a central stairway. Ages 10 years and up are allowed to be in the building and use the facilities. 9 years of age and lower are to be directly supervised by a responsible individual. A total of 6 floors, including the mezzanine, makes up the new building with facilities that fill each floor for members to use and enjoy. The lobby, cafe, and play area on the first floor entry are accessible for visitors who do not have a membership to use.
There is a portion of the building that non-members can use, which is mainly the cafe, the area outside the cafe, and then the indoor playground.
Other facilities include the indoor pool with a party room, event space and art gallery, fitness and exercise spaces, 3 total gymnasiums, a senior lounge, child watch, esports room and open game tables, walking and running track, program classrooms, multi-purpose room and meeting room, and outdoor multi-purpose terrace. With the amount of high school students working at the new center, it can be challenging to manage school, extra activities, and work. But with the flexible schedule the community center provides, students are able to relieve that stress when they can choose their own hours and days.
There's more flexible hours with work. Like they can let you start at 5 o'clock and then close out at 7. So I plan to work Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and sometimes on Sunday if I want the overtime. The managers, they use this app, right, that lets you just file a shift whenever you want and then take off days.
So the membership includes general use of the fitness space, so the fitness on the first floor, the mezzanine, the third floor, and the fifth floor, the indoor track, the indoor pool, the both gymnasiums, both the auxiliary gym and the main gymnasium, and then all the social spaces past the check-in desk. So someone can purchase a membership to the Bob Crane Community Center by going online to parks.uaoh.net. If they don't already have an account created, they can make one online. So you could do it online. You could also do it in person here at the Bob Crane Community Center.
High expectations have been set for the opening of the community center as over 2,300 people have signed up for memberships, and tours have had a huge outcome in numbers. The Bob Crane Community Center is a space for UA's community to interact and holds much potential for the future. This has been Riley Wardle reporting for the WARL.
To learn more about memberships and other information about the Community Center, visit communitycenter.upperarlingtonoh.gov.
The Northern Park tennis courts were first built in 1957, initially with 3 courts. Over the years, the city continued to add more courts, now with a whole new renovation featuring 9 hard-true clay courts with underground irrigation.
On May 1st, the Northam Tennis and Pickleball Courts ribbon cutting takes place at 4 o'clock. To buy a tennis pass, scan the QR code on the screen.
With summer approaching, it's a perfect time to grab a refreshing snack. Everbowl, located on 1303 West Lane Avenue, features bowls, smoothies, and superfood coffee.
Download their app to get your first bowl free. Now, Katie takes a look into Everbowl.
Hi, I'm Lucy, and I'm an employee here at Everbowl. Here at Everbowl, we do acai bowls and smoothies primarily. So when you order, you can either order a pre-made bowl, which is all of these. We have our acai, tropical, and nutty bowls, or you can make your own whatever bowl. So you can choose your own base and then toppings, superfoods, and nut butters. Here's our bases. We have acai, cocoa love, blue magic, vanilla, cacao wow, and pitaya. Here's all the toppings we have at Everbowl. We have peanut butter, almond butter, and Nutella, banana, granola, Ever Oats, chia pudding, strawberries, cinnamon apples, pineapple, kiwi, blueberries, dates, and then cacao nibs, coconut, almonds, goji berries, dried pineapple, and dried mango. And then we have all our seeds, honey, agave, and cinnamon. This is our blue tropical smoothie. It has the blue magic base, pineapple, and coconut milk. I feel like we've gotten a lot of support from schools and families in the community. We do sports ads for schools, so I feel like that kind of gets us some more support.
This has been Katie Sexton reporting for the WARL.
To learn more, see their website at everbowl.com.
On Earth Day, on April 22nd, as you begin the search for your new summer wardrobe, it's important to find environmentally friendly clothing.
Volunteers of America is a local thrift store that supports Army veterans through their profits.
Fast fashion is responsible for 92 million tons of textile waste generated each year, and the fashion industry alone is responsible for 10% of the world's carbon emissions. I talked to Suzanne Lentz, head of sustainability at the company Go Sustainable Energy, to gain some more insight.
Fast fashion is generally clothing that is made as cheaply as possible, which means that it is usually made in countries where people get paid very minimally. The materials are not necessarily natural fibers. And yes, you can go to a thrift. It can go to a thrift store. A lot of times they don't make it to a thrift store. Sometimes they're just thrown away.
Fast fashion doesn't just harm the people and the environment around you. Toxic dyes and chemicals used in mass-produced clothing puts yourself at risk for various health concerns.
Artificial fibers can cause endocrine issues. They're endocrine disruptors, so it can mess with your hormones. And then as it's laundered or if it's disposed of in trash, it can then make our waterways toxic, our soils toxic.
Thrift stores are an easy alternative to combat some of the effects of fast fashion. Specifically, Volunteers of America, located on Henderson Road, is a close and easy place to buy your clothes. I spoke with the regional manager, Rhonda Huff, to gain some more information.
Secondhand shops, I think you have a huge variety. It's not geared at just what people are saying the style is, which I think is what a lot of the department stores have. We have a style that goes clear back to the 70s, if that's what you'd like, or current, or anywhere in between. So there's a big selection for anyone and anybody's taste of what they'd like. We accept any of your household goods, clothing, household dishes, books, toys, lawn furniture, and then it is processed in each of our locations and priced according to what we feel the value is worth and then placed on our floor for sale.
Not only are you helping the planet by purchasing clothing from VOA, you are also supporting our nation's veterans.
As a whole, Volunteers of America is geared toward veterans, helping homeless veterans, help clothe veterans. We have programs to help them readjust to society after coming back from wartime. We help them to get back in the workforce, and we provide medical and housing.
Additionally, the last Tuesday of every month, VOA is half off everything in the store. They also host numerous events throughout the year to raise money for our nation's veterans. You can check them out at voa.org. When considering buying new clothes for the upcoming season, it is important to be conscious of the impact it may have on our environment. Thrift shops are a great alternative to fast fashion and are ultimately more affordable and sustainable. This has been Katie Sexton reporting for the WARL.
There's been a lot of talk about tariffs recently. Let's learn what the interview portion of the show found out.
Welcome to Interview. I'm Anne.
And I'm Riley. Taking effect on April 5th of this year, President Trump imposed a 10% tariff on all countries, and we're presented to strengthen the international economic position of the United States and protect American workers.
Social studies teacher Scott Shanae Berry explains how this impacts Americans.
So there's unknown with tariffs about whether they will be good or bad. It could be good if there's more production here in the U.S. That could mean more employment for Americans, and that could be good. But it might mean higher prices because there are some other things that other countries can make more cheaply than the U.S. And so, although we may have more jobs here and manufacturing here, we may have higher prices that people are going to have to pay for all those goods. And then as other countries retaliate against us, that seems to kind of hurt our standing in the world stage. So some other countries are upset with the U.S. and retaliating by selling American bonds, not wanting to trade with Americans as much. And so we'll have to see how this is going to play out, of whether we are able to get more benefits than costs. It's going to depend on how we negotiate with other countries diplomatically, how they view us. So right now there's a lack of stability of, are the tariffs going to be permanent? Are they not? And so lack of stability is going to be a problem for American businesses. So in the short run, we're probably going to have higher prices and maybe some shortages of some goods for a while. And we'll have to see if we're going to be able to figure out the supply chain, get costs back down, get manufacturing here, or if consumers are just going to be kind of stuck with paying higher prices. So the goal would be to make more things in America, to bring back manufacturing jobs here. so that Americans would buy stuff made in America. So the idea is to increase employment in the U.S. and to get people to buy American and for us to buy less from other countries. So far, the impact has been where other countries have been retaliating against the U.S. by selling U.S. assets, U.S. Treasury bonds, corporate bonds on bond markets, which has caused a decreased demand for the U.S. dollar. Supply chains around the world are pretty interconnected now. When world travel and transportation became relatively cheaper, supply chains became really interconnected. If there's really high tariffs on foreign goods in the U.S. and then they retaliate with tariffs on us, you're unwinding the supply chains. That supply chain unwinds and you have to find new suppliers maybe that aren't subject to that tariff or decide to pay the tariff or try to bring manufacturing back home. But it takes time to build a new factory, hire workers, get all the approval and permits and get that set up to build all those parts at home. So there could be a concern of stagflation or cost push inflation. As we have this disruption in those global supply chains, there's going to be a shortage of some goods because there might be bottlenecks along the way where there were some parts we used to buy in other countries but are now too expensive because of tariffs, and so they're going to have to find an alternative for those. So in the short run, we're probably going to see a shortage of some goods and some higher prices because there's some goods we just don't make in the U.S., and if we can't buy them from other countries, we're going to have to find a way to make them at home or just pay more money for them from other countries.
The tariffs are raising prices, reducing trade, and lowering standards of living. According to Tax Foundation, it is estimated that with the new tariffs, the average American household could pay approximately $1,300 more on taxes in 2025.
Let's toss back to Maine.
The Nor'Wester Yearbook has been a part of the Upper Arlington Historic Record for almost a century now. The student-run publications, Nor'Wester and Arlingtonian, are advised by Robin Malika. Ella and Alex report.
At Upper Arlington High School next to the Kickin live studio, there lives a powerhouse award-winning publication. This is the woman behind it.
So I went to the E.W. Scripps School of Journalism at OU, graduated, and then quickly applied for a job at the Dispatch in Columbus. So I think working in the real world teaches you how to deal with groups, how to deal with workers that don't pull their weight. Journalism has brought me here, teaching kids about the importance of truth and telling stories. So it's been an evolution, and it's been a long evolution, but journalism brought me definitely to UAHS. I just kind of dug my life into writing and words and wordplay.
After her professional work as a journalist, she had a long business career designing shopping centers.
I hate to say it, but I think it was drive really that inspired me more than a specific person. So it was the drive to succeed. I didn't really have a lot of role models for professions, so I think it was just an inside job.
Even when the job gets tough, Malika reminds herself,
when I wake up in the morning, I realize I get to come to school. I get to have this lively conversation with budding journalists, and I get to kind of show kids what's possible, and it gives me purpose. I definitely treat the Arlingtonian very much like a business.
Malika has grown the Arlingtonian program. It is so much more robust since she's joined our staff.
Every single bit of Arlingtonian wouldn't be happening without her.
But it's growing under her, and it's gaining popularity under her.
I think that having a stressful career really puts you in a good spot to help kids realize that there is life beyond these 4 years of high school.
Pushes us to just be our best and to learn and kind of like get the most out of what we're doing.
I'm trying to let kids know that there's so much beyond high school, that they have potential to make it great out in the big bad world.
But this is what really makes Malika Malika.
I love Malika. She's amazing.
I think it was her 50th birthday, and we went out with a bunch of her friends, and we ended up at a karaoke place. And Malika got up there, and she was belting out songs, and I'm just like in the background laughing because I'm like, I would never get on stage. I would never sing. And she's just belting them out. She's very creative. I don't know if students outside school knows that she does jewelry. She paints.
We always love her outfits. If you ever see, she's literally my fashion inspiration.
I've enjoyed hanging out with her. We've vacationed together, we've had fun.
The most important things outside of my job or being at school is definitely my family. I have a son.
She is a loving mother. She loves her kid.
He is, he's grown and has his own thing going.
The most impactful part of her career is the mark she leaves on others.
She's impacted me as a person because I see a lot of myself in her.
She's fun, she's light, she's always engaging with people.
Every single bit of what she says comes from such a big place of love.
And she kind of she'll walk the walk. If she wants kids to do something, she'll do it too.
She always comes in with a lot of energy and ideas and input.
Her ability to read people and to really listen to them and know them, she sees people for who they are.
How much she cares and devotes all of her time and energy and effort.
About something, how's it going to affect every kid, even the kid who doesn't like school, or the kid who's only here half day, or the kid who is an IB. So she thinks about all the kids.
She cares really deeply. Her compassion for her students is amazing, and that extends to the other people in her life, the people that she cares about.
But know that she is the most caring and loving and dedicated person that you'll probably have as a teacher and meet for at least a while. So
This is her greatest takeaway.
I feel like sometimes the kids think that I give to them, but really I'm getting so much from them.
This has been Ella Schmidt and Alex Grau reporting for the WARL.
Prom was held at COSI April 5th. This theme was City of Stars. School of dances have been a popular tradition since the first permanent Upper Arlington school opened in 1924, now known as Jones Middle School.
Charlotte explores the prom trends over the past 4 decades.
Over the years, Upper Arlington High School has changed, especially regarding school-led dances. In 1959, there was a group called the Baritones. They played at 10 school dances over 1 year. After basketball games, dances took place. Now we have 3 annual dances, and the fashion has definitely changed. Looking into the 1980s, bright colors and bold styles were popular. Think puff sleeves, flowy skirts, big hair, corsages, and statement accessories. The 1990s brought a mix of sequins, halter neck dresses, and even more puff sleeves.
My name is Megan Potts. I graduated from Upper Arlington in 1994. I went to prom in 1993 and 1994. Our prom was held at the Convention Center downtown. Lots of us took limos downtown and we would eat dinner there. And we did not have the internet back then, so when we were buying our dresses, which were mostly long and covered in sequins with big sleeves, we would actually have to go to a store and try it on. So a lot of us went to City Center, which is no longer there, or if we needed to, I guess we could order it from a catalog, and then you got it mailed to you. But I think most of us probably went downtown. We also would purchase boutonnieres for our dates, and we all wore corsages. My group, we had a large group, probably 6 or 8 couples, and my dress was a black and white checkered short sleeve dress that I remember buying downtown at City Center.
Entering a new millennium, the 2000s saw a shift towards asymmetrical designs, strapless dresses, but always stayed consistent with corsages. With the rise of social media in the 2010s, prom fashion became more individualized and trend-focused. Metallic colors, V-neck dresses, and corsages. Now in the 2020s, prom at Upper Arlington High School features bouquets instead of corsages, ruffled dresses, and pastel colors. This year's prom was held at COSI on April 5th.
Hi, my name's Ivy.
My name's Jonas.
And I've seen a lot of yellow dresses this prom.
I've seen a lot of people in black suits.
Hi, my name's Caroline, and I'm seeing a lot of ruffles.
This has been Charlotte Potts reporting for the WARL.